Set in the snowy region of northern Minnesota, the story will focus on a middle-aged widow named Barbara. A few days after the death of her husband, she received his will to scatter his ashes at Lake Hilda, the very first place they met. And so, today, Barbara is going there while reminiscing about their beautiful past. Long story short, Barbara arrives at a crossroads that looks quite unfamiliar, since it's been a long time since she last visited this place and there's no one around to ask. Out of curiosity, she stands in the middle of the road, listening carefully in case there's another car coming. And yes, she hears the sound of someone chopping wood not far from the intersection. After driving a few meters toward the sound, Barbara arrives in front of a cabin where an older man is splitting firewood. She immediately gets out to ask for directions.
Hello?
What are you doing up here?
You wouldn't happen to know where a Lake Hilda?
His name is, let's just call him Samuel. Barbara claims she is going fishing at Lake Hilda, but since the last time she came here was when she was young, she forgot the route to her destination. Samuel kindly offers to show her the way.
Just back over the hill here. If you're driving, you gotta go the long way around.
Before leaving, Barbara notices a bloodstain on the ground and a pistol lying on the dashboard of his car. She casually asks if Samuel is injured or needs help, but Samuel explains it's just animal blood from his hunt that he hasn't cleaned yet. Soon Barbara reaches Lake Hilda. It's silent, peaceful, deep in the snowy woods. She pauses. This is exactly what she missed. No noise, no chaos, no political drama, no struggling city life or endless mortgage bills. Just silence. Reaching the middle of the lake, covered in thick ice, she makes a small fishing hole. She doesn't want to leave this peaceful atmosphere quickly. Barbara starts daydreaming while staring at her husband's ashes one last time, when suddenly a gunshot echoes from the lakeshore, making her hide behind her car. Soon, a girl with tied hands comes out of the woods, followed by Samuel aiming a gun at her, then dragging her back into the forest. Barbara tries to call the police, but there is no signal. Not wanting to get involved, she quickly packs her things. But her car gets stuck near the lake's edge. Worried about the girl and curious about why Samuel was chasing her, she goes back to the cabin to check. She finds a basement window with loose metal bars and sees the girl being held there for unknown reasons.
You alone?
Just as she is about to break the window, she is startled. Samuel has returned, bringing a woman, let's call her Julia, who turns out to be his wife.
Any snags?
Nope. Grabbed her in the alley, no one saw shit.
They check on the kidnapped girl, whose name is Leah, revealing they planned this kidnapping together. Barbara secretly writes a note on the window, "I will not leave you." She then returns to the lake to prepare a campsite and wait for the right time to save Leah. Julia comes out of the cabin, having a severe nosebleed, looking dizzy and pale. Clearly she is seriously ill. And yes, she finds Barbara's glove near the basement and the note on the window. Furious, she scolds Samuel for being sloppy.
The med store?
Are you trying to piss me off? Whose is it?
I don't know.
He explains that earlier a middle-aged woman asked him for directions, probably Barbara, but he didn't realize she saw them.
Where are we going?
Just tidy up your f***ing mess.
They go to the lake to eliminate Barbara. Julia carries a rifle and they slowly approach Barbara's tent, but... Samuel falls into Barbara's trap hole. Yes, despite her age, Barbara is impressively smart and prepared for the worst. While Julia tries to pull Samuel out, Barbara sneaks back to the cabin to rescue Leah. She breaks the basement door and finds Leah handcuffed to a pole. Barbara searches for a hammer. She also sabotages the cabin, soaking clothes and blankets in water so Samuel can't warm up later, risking hypothermia. After soaking all the clothes, she finally finds a hammer, but... Julia and Samuel return. Julia shoots Barbara in the arm. Barbara runs into the woods to escape. Meanwhile, Julia realizes the cabin's heat sources, the stove, matches, blankets, are gone and gets furious.
Oh, God damn it, where's their bags?
Look for something dry. There's blankets in my truck. Fucking me right, my truck.
Not only Barbara, Julia is smart too. To make things worse, she sabotages Barbara's car. Barbara panics. She has lost her wedding ring. Luckily, she finds Samuel's dropped pistol near her tent and keeps it. We see medical boxes in Julia's truck. Julia orders Samuel to take them to the lake. It turns out Julia is a surgical assistant with terminal liver disease. She plans to forcibly transplant Leah's liver and dump the body in the lake. Samuel, freezing badly, realizes his pistol is gone. However, Julia doesn't want to know, because tomorrow they have to bring the liver, so...
It's not my fault, babe. It's just... Ow!
While freezing, he starts pushing his portable tent to the lake center. Barbara tries returning to the cabin, but Leah is gone, and then Barbara treats her gunshot wound. After she treats her wound, Barbara breaks her car window to take ammo box, but it's empty. Got lucky, she finds a working radio. A local resident responds, but...
Oh, okay, can you just get it?
Samuel arrives, and Barbara knocks him down with a hammer. Samuel confesses he was forced by his crazy wife for kidnapping Leah to cure her disease. But Samuel decided to treat his hypothermia and leave his wife alone.
Where'd she take the girl?
Oh, looking for you.
Leah was a suicidal patient who, according to Julia, deserved to die. Samuel gives Barbara her missing wedding ring. He found it earlier when he fell. He begs to go to a hospital due to hypothermia. But on his way, he encounters Julia, and instead of helping him, she curses him. Their argument escalates.
I'm your wife. You come to me.
It ain't gonna work. Babe.
Fuck it ain't.
Back to Barbara. Desperate, she pushes her car to the center of the lake and explodes it, hoping the smoke will draw attention. It works. The local resident arrives, Barbara explains everything, and they agree to help. They go to the cabin and find Julia inside a car. The locals check, but suddenly... Julia kills them both. Yes, Julia got crazy like Thanos. Just Barbara left. Barbara grabs the pistol that keeps by the locals and then... shoots Julia in the leg and runs toward the cabin to get another gun, only to discover Samuel dead in the vehicle. Because Julia kept shooting at her, Barbara hides near the basement roof. But... Night falls, and now Barbara is tied in the basement alongside Leah. Leah admits she was kidnapped by Samuel while attempting suicide. Barbara gives her a bolt as a keepsake.
Don't quit. I think she left.
Since Leah's cuff is attached to a pole, Barbara tries to escape through a rusted emergency basement door. Since Leah's handcuffs were locked to a pole that was impossible to remove, Barbara had to think fast again. She needed to get the hammer she left near the car. Luckily, there was another way out. Through the emergency basement door, its nails already rusty, but... Yup. At outside, that crazy Julia was already waiting for her. With the fact that Samuel was already dead, Julia forced Barbara to drag all the medical boxes out to the middle of the lake and help her perform surgery. When they got inside the tent, Barbara was completely stunned. On the operating table, everything was already set up, all the tools and equipment ready, and she still had no idea what Julia was planning.
Unload it.
Right when Barbara opened the box containing the liver storage container, that's when again we get to see just how smart Barbara really is. She secretly loosened all the tape tying Leah's body, so that later, when Barbara distracted Julia, Leah would have enough time to free herself. And yes, Barbara was shot after all the tasks were completed, whether stupid or really want to die. Leah even just nuzzled when Julia was about to perform the operation, even though it was clear that the tape was very loose. And suddenly... it was Barbara. She was actually still alive. The shot earlier only hit the urn, her late husband's ashes. But instead of freeing herself when she had the chance, Leah, who clearly wasn't thinking straight, just froze, panicked, and stayed still, watching Barbara fight with everything she had to stay alive. And this is where Leah finally realized that death is truly terrifying. While Barbara continued fighting outside and the fire started swallowing the entire tent, Leah began trying to pull off the loosened tape, using that sharp bolt Barbara had given her earlier to pry herself free. At the same time, Leah finally managed to get out of the tent. Julia knocked Barbara down and found the urn, the ashes of the husband that had blocked the bullet earlier. Not wanting Barbara to die quickly, Julia dragged her to the old ice hole where Samuel had fallen before, planning to drown her. But... as a result, Barbara ended up sinking into the water together with Julia. All because clueless Leah just stood there doing nothing to help. Feeling like there was no chance to survive, Barbara, with the little strength she had left, quickly pulled out the urn and released the ashes into the water, right as she herself began running out of air. After Julia and Barbara died, Leah was seen trembling, staring at the photo of Barbara and her late husband that she found near the edge of the hole. This is where she finally realized that death isn't the right answer to solve problems. So from that moment on, she promised herself to keep living, even if she felt like nothing but a burden, someone useless. The end. Quite a gripping ending, right? The message we can take from this movie is that sometimes helping others doesn't have to be something big. It can be as simple as listening, helping without being asked, or giving without being noticed. And that's exactly where the true value of a person is tested. Remember, keep doing good even when eyes are watching, because in the end, the kindness we plant can grow in places we never expect. I'm Jack, representing the board on duty, saying thank you, and see you in the next video. Adios.